Hello, students. I miss seeing you in the hallways of Grand Island Senior High, but we still want to keep in contact and do some meaningful artwork at home. I'm here to talk to you about skill development in this exciting project that we're about to embark on. Remember, there's just two main things you need to know. One is I need to make a portrait of myself that is reflecting how I feel about the time and place I live in. That's going to change. So we want to do a portrait about every 2 days, 2 or 3 days, to show how your perceptions of what's going on is changing. The other part is you got to figure out what are you going to do these portraits on? What materials are available to you at your house that you can use? So that's something I'm going to talk about now, is the skill development of this assignment. Your portraits that you're going to create need to be made out of materials available in your house. And when you're finished, they shouldn't be any bigger than 9 by 12 inches. They can be smaller, but don't make anything bigger, because when we're finished, we want to put these together like booklets and hang them on the wall in an installation type manner, so people can go through and see how you were evolving through the beginnings of our time away from school. You have a lot of freedom. We don't want to bog you down with rules or with instruction. You've already had instruction in your classes. You can draw, paint, sculpt, photograph, digitize, or collage. You've had some formal training in art, so don't forget about that. Think about your color choice, composition, media techniques, and processes. So what can you make? What can you use to make these portraits? You don't have any paper at home? Well, use discarded paper. A lot of contemporary artists do that. The back of a soup can label, but make sure you write on the can with a marker first what's in it. A cereal box, wrapping paper, newspapers, or any other flat surface that you might have at home. Sheet music, the list kind of goes on. Remember, be creative with your selections. Draw a portrait in a tattoo manner on your arm with a marker and take a photo of it and submit that to us later. Draw with pencils, crayons, chalk, colored chalk, or colored pencils, charcoal, ink pens, markers, anything that you can find to make a mark. Or go outside and use sidewalk chalk. Be resourceful in whatever you can find. Maybe you can draw on an Etch-a-Sketch if you have one in your house, or make a light bright pattern and take a photo of it when you are done. Use an app to draw a face. Take photographs. Are you lucky enough to have some paint in your house? Paint. If you would choose to collage and you don't have any glue, you can make a simple paste with water and flour that will work just fine. If you are in sculpture, make drawings for an emotional face or figure that you might carve in plaster when we come back to school. Build a face out of sticks or from objects in your kitchen or your bathroom or your bedroom or your garage. Assemble these into a face that's expressive and shows your feelings for the day. Take a picture of it and submit it to us. Use plastic bags and tape to make a soft sculpture that would represent a face with a particular emotion. If you are in pottery, draw many different faces with different emotions that you might sculpt in the front of a mug. That was to be our last assignment for the school year. Here's some quick references to make your portraits more effective in 2D. If you want to make a face look more natural, use the guide on the next slide for facial proportion. Also, remember to use the 5-step drawing process to draw accurately. You can make abstract simplified, pared down faces also. Experiment with different shading techniques, from crosshatch to pointillism to line shading. If you have means to use color, remember the power of emotional color over representational color to set a mood. Use color symbolically, like red for anger or blue for sadness. Paint in a style of an artist you admire. Or cut different expressive patterns from books, magazines, or newspapers, or cloth to construct a face. Or cut facial features out and glue them together to make a new face when you collage. Here's some quick reference points to make your 3D portraits more effective. You have 3 options. You can make 2D work that stands alone, just like if you were in a 2D class. It might be a little easier to do. Do drawings, paintings, photographs, collage, or digital work. Or option 2, you can make drawings that would be a plan for a sculpture if you had the materials to make that. Or option 3, actually make yourself some face sculptures that show different emotions and photograph them when you're done. If you choose this last option, remember how important it is to use negative space and that you think about the form's height, width, and depth. Find objects that are interesting and that are rich in texture. You could arrange objects you find in nature to create portraits, photograph the work, and then just leave them alone. You can assemble objects in your house to suggest faces and photograph them and turn the product into us. I hope you have a good idea of what this assignment is about, what this project is about. Every art student is going to be doing it. I think there's going to be some power if we can get them all together. You only have to worry about 2 things. 1, find the materials at home to draw on. And number 2, how expressive can you be in showing where you are in the world right now and how that evolves over the next month, so that you would do multiple portraits. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you again.